What is going on, guys? We are back on the rebuild. I'm Madden 23, and today it is of the Tennessee Titans, a team that just kind of, shot up into the news lately because of the signing of Deandre Hopkins, a guy that seemingly has a lot left in the tank and in general is a very good wide receiver. He's played with quote-unquote bad quarterbacks his whole career, a little bit with Deshaun Watson, not really a bad quarterback, and Kyler Murray. I mean, there's definitely better, but there's also definitely a lot worse. And Tannehill, assuming that is the guy that wins the starting job, he's a lot better than people give him credit for. But in Madden here, DeAndre Hopkins, only a star. Probably should be higher, right, as a 95-plus overall. But obviously, he was suspended, basically. The fact that he's a 95 overall, though, call me crazy, call me a cheater, I'm going to make him an X Factor. I mean, if he's a 95 overall, the only reason why he's not an X Factor is because of the suspension. EA tries to distance itself politically with players that, get suspended for whatever reason in general. But yeah, that's the only reason why. A suspension dropped him. They don't want him to be one of the faces at a position because they don't want to, quote unquote, promote, illegal behavior, if you will. But of course, Skoronski, their first-round draft pick, a player that, Titans fans are, in my opinion, seemingly torn on, whether they like him or not. The consensus is he's going to play left guard or one of the guard positions. I don't know if that's still the case, but that's where I'm going to be playing him here. Maybe as the rebuild goes on, he moves to tackle when we have more security at other positions. Dillard, a guy that, I'm pretty sure was actually not bad for Philadelphia, but Mailata just kind of came out of nowhere, and obviously you're not replacing Lane Johnson, so he just never really had a chance to start. So he actually is, from what I've heard, not bad. And there's a reason why he got a pretty good payday without really playing a whole lot. The rest of the O-line, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about, and I don't just in general think they're very good. Receivers, Treylon Burks was actually pretty decent, I'm pretty sure, in the second half of the season. But in general, this is obviously a team that you think of when you think of players or teams in general that were injury-prone and injured. This is obviously one of the first teams you think of, and it played a big factor in the how they played, because they actually aren't, even though in Madden, if you on paper you want to look at it, they're not the best team in the world, but they win games. When they're healthy, they win games. But obviously, you still have Derrick Henry, not as quote-unquote good as quote-unquote King Henry, but he is still a very good player. Okonkwo was cooking up as well. Kind of remind me a little bit of like Evan Ingram, though. Like, so much potential, such a freak athlete, and can do so much with the ball when it's in his hands, but catching problems. He honestly feels like a running back that's just like big. He really, really does. But looking at the defensive side of things, interior D-line is really good. Linebackers, I mean, if Tennessee's paying a guy, it's just not going to work out. Of course, Landry, I don't even think played last season, but in general, debatable decision to re-sign him in general. Safeties, Byard specifically, very good. Hooker's pretty good. Corner, Sean Murphy-Bunting seemed like a pretty good steal for the cornerback market, and there's a lot of developing that needs to happen at the cornerback spot. Inside linebackers, not really a team that seemingly values it that high. I remember when Jayon Brown was like their best guy for a while, but just doesn't seem like a team, once again, that really values the inside linebacker position that much. Arden Key, another guy that's kind of like under the radar, kind of reminded me, I believe, actually, of their former player, like DeMarcus Walker, a guy that nobody really talks about, but they're actually a lot better than people give them credit for. But from a strictly Madden standpoint, this is a rough team to rebuild. I seen some rebuild, I don't know when it was. I kind of glanced through just to see what they did, and they won the Super Bowl in year 2. A bit sus when you're looking at this roster. Definitely need to change the playbooks to get a year 2 Super Bowl win, I'll tell you that much, because you're not winning a Super Bowl with the Titans playbook that early. The passing numbers just suck in Sim, but I think we're going to probably rock it early on and see how it goes. But I think this is a team that, well, at least in Madden, you probably need to have a little bit more of a balanced attack, and that's not really going to happen with the scheme, is they're going to probably run it like for 2,000 yards at Henry, and Tannehill is going to be retired. But obviously you have other guys like Will Levis. I'll show you guys the ratings. I'm using It's Vic's roster, I believe. I've kind of liked theirs the most. But this is what Levis looks like here. Could steal the starting job from Tannehill, but as of right now, I think Tannehill is the starter. Was it Tannehill that said it's not his job to get, was it Willis ready? I don't know. It seems like quarterbacks nowadays, they just all say They're all like, I'm not going to help the guy. It's like, do you really blame him? People are like, oh, boo, it's a team. It's like, bro, he's not going to like help train his freaking, replacement and teach him everything he knows. Maybe he'll help him out here and there, but, the whole idea that it's not his job to help him out is pretty fair, no? And also, I have no idea when this is going to be uploaded. I don't know if I plan on, uploading anything on the ratings early on until the actual full database is out. I don't really know if I feel like uploading a video saying, here, boys, this is all the wide receivers, and then waiting the next day, here's all the cornerbacks. Oh, here's all the edge rushers. At least last year, they did it in batches. Like, I think it was like edge rushers and corners, quarterbacks and tight ends. It's like, you're getting multiple of each position. You're getting multiple positions anyways. I don't want to do one per. Like, what the hell do I talk about for the wide receivers? I don't know. By the way, I uploaded a rebuild on Sunday. Maybe check it out. I don't know if I'm uploading this today, as in Monday or not. So just throwing that preface out there Sunday, just in case it's not Monday. And, me saying yesterday, I'd be like, what do you mean? There was no upload on, whatever the day before today is. Kind of trying to save myself a little bit there. But yeah, maybe check that out. Maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe if you're new. We do a ton of franchise stuff. Mainly, franchise stuff, really. I would say mainly rebuilds, but mainly franchise in general. We do a lot of actually playing the franchise stuff. Like on our Miners franchise, where we actually have a Conquo as a backup. He's doing all right for himself. But yeah, speaking of that franchise, I'm not sure when I'm going to upload it. Because like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to upload any of this Madden rating stuff. I might just skip the first day, see how the YouTube algorithms are rolling for it, and if people are interested in that kind of stuff, you guys are interested, maybe I decide to post some after all, my reactions. Definitely at the end of the week, 100%, when the actual ratings are fully out, I might react to like the Packers and do a bunch of different stuff like sleeper players and all that. But as far as like looking at wide receivers, talking about all the wide receivers, I don't know. I'd rather see it in bunches or just react to the whole thing at the end of the week. But we'll see. 53 mil. Sean Murphy-Bunting actually has a contract, so we're not going to be doing that now. And I suppose Tart, I don't know how I've handled this in the past. I should probably review my Titans rebuild before continuing this, as we actually did one maybe 2 months ago. Deandre Hopkins is a pretty significant sign-in to where I should be I should be doing a rebuild for it. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to do a 3 or 25.5. I think it makes sense. As much as Autry's great in real life, in game, his ceiling is maximized hard, so I don't know if he's a guy that's going to stick around long. And then obviously Murphy Bunting, he had, a 3-year 18 or something like that? Something like low 20s or something like that. Or a 1-year 3.5. I don't know who the hell I'm thinking of. Maybe Jamel Dean? Nah, Jamel Dean's was higher than that too. Who the hell am I thinking of? Bro, I don't even know, but if we want him back, we do have to pay him. We'll probably have to... a 4-year 24 is not bad, even for number 3 money, but... Can Caleb Farley be the number 1? I'm going to try to offer him a 4-year 27. If he takes it, good. If not, he's going to free agency. I said 4-year 27, damn it. All right, see you later. All right, heads to the playoffs, and I'll be honest with you, the scheme needs to be changed. 4-13, glad we won at the end. Probably cucking ourselves out of a top 3-ish pick. I kind of forgot to maybe start off Levis, but at the same time, I can't really argue for that because Tannehill actually did have a pretty good touchdown to pick ratio, so what do I do there? It's the scheme. 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. In no way, shape, or form is Will Levis starting in that situation. I know the completion percentage is pretty low, but there's no way he gets the starting job. Even if they're losing, maybe at the end of the season because they don't need to start a guy that, is playing well if they're losing anyways, but I don't know, dude. I don't know if Will Levis can work in a Madden sim. I just don't know if it works out because Tannehill makes more sense as the starter. DeAndre Hopkins killed it, deserves that X factor. Burks will not get the dev up, but it was good. And then a Conquo, less than he had in real life, and this is a full season of playing situation. So, pass rush not great. I think there needs to be, wow, Treylon Burks is the kick returner, and he pulled off 2 returns for a touchdown somehow. There needs to be something changed with the scheme. It's just not going to work out with the Titans scheme, I don't think. I don't see how it's going to work. Best wide receiver goes to Hopkins. Worth it, I suppose. But you know what? A lot of people, even Titans fans, a lot of them I've, kind of interacted with, don't know, necessarily see Levis as the guy, but more of like he has potential and the value is there. Why not take a shot? Same with Willis, as the Chargers win the Super Bowl over the Niners. So, do they see him as a future? Maybe, but if you end up getting a top 5 pick in the draft and you can land a new quarterback that has more potential, that is a very realistic thing as well. Pick 33, it's a high pick, don't get me wrong, but at the very same time, we see what happened with the Cardinals. They had pick, 8 for Rosen, and then ended up taking a quarterback the very following year with pick 1. This isn't even that close of a situation, right? Pick 33 and then pick top 5, whatever. Not even close. And I also went straight into the re-signings instead of looking at the dev-ups, but I also am a pretty realistic person, and I know there's a very good chance that no one got them. Tannehill was actually pretty good. Probably should be saved, but I don't know if it's going to matter because we're going to be looking for a new QB anyways. Arden Key apparently went up in dev. I would assume, not that it really matters because, once again, he's an older player. But it's cool, I guess. 81 finesse. The 3-4 is just... I honestly think we really should have been changing all the defenses to a 4-3 because 3-4s just suck in sim. They're just so bad. But let's see who is there in free agency. See if we can add anyone. Tony Pollard, Michael Thomas, Josh Allen. If Josh Allen is actually a free agent, there would be some talks, especially the Titans who love to pay the first pass rusher they can see to join their team. Josh Allen kind of feels like a Titan-type move. Interdivisional as well. Those moves are kind of, happening more and more these days. I'm willing to send him a 5-year 75, maybe a little bit more. We'll see. The Falcons are offering a little bit more than that, and they have struggled to find an edge rusher for some years now. Probably will have to put a little bit more in there. That gives us a chance at him, and I don't know how I feel about Landry, but I would definitely feel a lot better about our edge if he was there. Once again, Arden Key is just too old, and the development's gone. It's just is really gone. Devin Bush, was that a 1-year deal? I think it might have been. I might go crazy. Well, I offered 4 players. How many did we get, if any? 3 of them, no to Josh Allen, but we did get Murphy Bunting back. We did get Devin Bush, and we got a new right tackle in Isaiah Wynn. Definitely got the least of the players I wanted. I wanted that edge rusher so bad, but you know what? We got some wins, which for this team, maybe not the most appealing to go to, so we'll take it. Also, I didn't really mention the whole, wide receivers come here to die kind of situation, but I will say, Andre Johnson, old, didn't really play well before he at the point of his career coming to Tennessee. As far as Julio Jones goes, that injury situation was already transpiring before he came to Tennessee. The Falcons literally unloaded him at the perfect time when it comes to peak career. And then Randy Moss is obviously just a shell of himself at the time he joined. So the Tennessee Titans, sure, you can make those arguments that bad decisions because they got guys that are washed or whatever, but it doesn't really, it's not like, oh, they actually kill these wide receivers. Just bad timing on the guys they have signed. So no matter what happens here, we will get a quarterback. There are 3 at least solid ones, and the Lions pick first, where they take a right end, and the Patriots, I don't know if they're going to take a QB. They do not, giving us first dibs at QB, which is interesting to say the least, because there are 3 good ones. I think Snell is the best because he's the youngest, and they all look very similar. I think he's the best, just elite throw power, the speed, and everything. I'm kind of still debating on trading down, though, if that's a possibility. The Cardinals wouldn't want QB, I don't think. Seahawks could. See, I would be trading with the Vikings, and you know what? I think you just take your quarterback. I feel really dumb because it's going to, we could probably end up trading down for something else, get some more picks. It doesn't matter, though. Peter Snell is going to be our choice. Hidden development trait, that's a good start. Wow, that would be so disappointing, though. 82 speed's all right, but looking at the other ratings, imagine changing that change of direction with the speed, or the agility, or the excel with the speed. Elite throw power at 94 is, that's barely elite, right? That's right on the cusp. And then, of course, I have other players I would love to get, late first, probably early second, but at the same time, we don't have a 3rd, 5th, or 6th. I know it shows that 3rd, but I actually have to trade that off. I'm not sure where they did that from, but I believe right now, looking at their draft picks, they do not have those picks I just mentioned. They do have 2 7ths, though. And I really want to go cornerback, but we did get Murphy Bunting back, so technically I don't actually need one. I think I'm going to trade down because we need so many linemen. I'm going to try to get 2 like high thirds if I can. It's the sad negative payoff. Not getting a cornerback, but grabbing potentially 2 linemen because of it. I think the Ravens are giving me the best I can get at this point. 54 and 86 for pick 3, which, I mean, it is what it is. Pick 22 now. See who's there, but might be another trade down because, once again, I want some linemen. Get those guys with the early thirds, if you will. Oh, Harrell. Got some linebackers as well. We could at least use 1, but, oh, Highsmith. I'm taking Juan Highsmith. Juan Highsmith I was pretty high on. Solid speed, which is worrisome, but the B zone, B catch, C man coverage, I'm going for. And he's hidden, which is clutch. He's actually a lot slower than I would have thought, but I think he will find himself a starting spot. Sean Murphy Bunting, maybe Bill built more to be a, and this isn't even our pick, sadly, but built more to be a slot corner, perhaps. Yeah, that 3rd round, I believe, belongs to the Cardinals for the Levis trade. So we got our own 4th back, and we have pick 22 from that trade down. I'm debating on who is here if I'm going to make a play. We need edge pretty badly, but I think with how raw Barrett looks, I'd probably pass on him. Any of the O-linemen left? Ooh, Warren Castle is still there. I didn't really expect him to be there, so I think that's who I'm going to take. And then we do kind of need a linebacker. Please be hidden. Yes, there we go. There we go. Normally, it's like, okay, like I said, O-linemen, they're pretty common to get hidden, but recently enough, I struggled to get one in the late second, so we really can't afford to miss on drafting in this one. Like, we can't have bad picks. We just simply can't. And I think we're going to dip into next year. Right now, I need probably 2 more linemen, but I definitely want this linebacker. Is he still? Oh, no, he's still there. Brandon McDonald. So I'm going to grab Brandon McDonald here, I think. And then I'm going to move down until we're down to just Thigpen and Neal and see if I can do something to snag them both. That would be clutch. But we're going to go with Brandon McDonald here, who is very athletic. We need the linebacker. Please be hidden, please. Yes! Once again, another position that is not the hardest to get hidden, but we really needed to happen. Other drafts, like we see that all the time, but at the same time, oh, there goes Barrett. We can't mess up on this one because we just don't have the capital. This is a risk, but pick 90 for 124. I think this is the choice I'm going to be making for Neal. So no 3rd round pick yet again for this team going forward, but this Neal guy does look very good. You can't deny. A bunch of B's and some A's. Josh Neal, hidden. Thank you. And I can't really risk it. Can I go to the Cowboys with something? Late 4th isn't that crazy of a trade up, surely. Is this fair? I think so. We make the trade for 125 from the Cowboys. I think it was fair, and that's really all that matters in life. Our only remaining pick is the 7th round pick next year, and we literally, other than the 7th rounds, have recreated their draft class. Theirs being the Titans from last year. This guy's like a pure center. Not the strongest, but some okay ratings. Is a risk. And another hidden. I would love to see Wilbur because Wilbur was probably, slightly better than the guy we just took. So did we get away with, grabbing another guy that we would have taken, we probably wouldn't have taken because if the other guy was there, we would have taken him instead and we got lucky? I don't know, but this has been a perfect draft class so far. Even if everyone's just star dev, it's still been so good. Even the corner being hidden. And then this guy... I mean, I've seen a lot of guys that are just normal, but this guy could legitimately be a generational kicker as well. And he is! 99 kick power hidden. Normally, if we get these guys, it's like right at the end of the rebuild and we don't even start them. This time we actually got one, and they are literally needed as a starter. This wasn't, a draft where we got every single positional need completed, but very close to. I mean, that was a clutch draft. Very clutch. Overall's pretty solid to a bunch of 73s. A 75 QB, 76 corner. Gotta say, Tannehill, I'd maybe trade him off for like a 5th or a 6th from a team that needs a quarterback that can stably win you games or at least, put up decent numbers. Please be good. Oh, he is good. Superstar development trade. What number? Number 2? I'm sorry if I'm putting like some, I can't believe you. Wilbur Snatcher Nobble, you just replaced his legendary retired numbers. Like, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. But a little, slow for Highsmith, but ratings are actually pretty good. Let's take a look what his dev is. I think he's the number 2 corner no matter what. Only star, but that's all right. That's definitely all right. And then the O-line, sure, it'd be cool to see if they were more than star, but it doesn't really matter to us, right? Like, it's just, I guess to be fair, none of this matters, is because all these hit-ins right here, they're literally starters. So us checking the dev really doesn't do a whole lot here. I was hoping for superstar. You see a lot of those late superstars. And then once again, these guys are all O-linemen, and I think Castle probably plays a different position. Kind of built to play left tackle. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we're going to put him at left guard at the minimum right now. Might as well check his dev since we're here. Star only. But yeah, that's. I guess I'll take a look at Wilbur because I am just a little bit curious to see what his dev was. Doesn't really matter whether he was normal, superstar, XFET, whatever. Wilbur though, 73 overall, 27th pick. Was hidden, in fairness. Don't know what his actual dev is. I don't really care too much, but I was just curious. I don't know who the hell Jay Ward is, but I could use the depth inside, so I'm going to take Epinesa from the Vikings. I don't know if, Cousins is gone. He starts off in normal dev, so he could very well be, but we saved some money getting rid of Tannehill, and in general, we add some more depth to the team. Why not? All right, so here we are with year 2. I don't know what kind of scheme I want to change to, but obviously a 4-13 team. Not that it was the best roster on paper in general, but we got ourselves a pick 3 overall quarterback, and we need to develop the pass game a little bit. Still want Henry to be the main guy, but I still want us to utilize the Hopkins that we have paid quite a bit of money for. Looking at the O-line, we ended up moving Skoronski back to left tackle, and then Castle, sit at left guard. The offensive line is basically set at this point. And then defense, probably replace Autry. Tart will look at replacements. We didn't give him a crazy deal, so he can be replaced. Corners, this is the way I have it set, because Farley has potential. Murphy Bunting is the number 3 right now, but if Fulton doesn't have a great year, everyone probably moves up a couple of spots, so Highsmith will be 1, Farley maybe 2, and then Murphy Bunting at 3, or Murphy at 2 and Farley at 3. Either way, the kind of cheap contract Murphy Bunting got anyways, it doesn't need to be the starter. It's just great depth regardless, so we at least have options. And I won't cuck you, okay? It's 2 to finesse. Not bad, actually, as a player, but there just wasn't any other options for edge, so, I ended up just keeping Arden Key as the starter. I don't know how the actual stats look, but we're actually looking pretty good. Hopkins wants a contract. I'm down with his and Henry's numbers, to be honest. In real life, these are way more risky, but in-game, I've got to play it how it lies, and Simmons also got a contract in real life, so we should have already been paying that. Doesn't really matter. We'll do it now. We'll just add the contract and just say year 2 of that contract, right? So it doesn't really matter. But Christian Fulton, don't know how he's playing, but I'm curious to see, because that's not bad money for a guy that if he got a breakout, 20k XP with star dev, that'd be kind of crazy. Okay, remember when I was saying that in the beginning I saw a rebuild where they won the Super Bowl year 2, and I was thinking it was pretty sus, and that maybe they were cheating. Okay, I revoke that. I revoke that. I've taken that back. I don't know if we're gonna win the Super Bowl, but the fact that we turn this team from a 4-13 to a 13-4 team by just changing the Packers scheme, which isn't even really known as one of the cheese schemes or anything like that, is pretty impressive, right? Probably rookie of the year, maybe even MVP with Peter Snell. Henry was still really good. Treylon Burks maybe goes straight to superstar. I don't know if that's even possible. Put him at the number 1 and the slot 1 because I need him to develop, as Hopkins already developed. Kind of feels cheese because Hopkins didn't really do well, and Burks just absorbed all of the stats. But Okonkwo was better. Kyle Phillips was better. Blocking was still pretty bad, to be honest. Pass rush, I can't imagine is decent. It's actually pretty decent. But yeah, we definitely need to work on this defense, which is kind of ironic because in real life, outside of Derrick Henry in the ground game, it is a defense that kind of performs better than the offense. But did he win Rookie of the Year or MVP? Number 4, not bad for a rookie, let me tell you that much. But let's take a look. Rookie of the Year, obviously. Defensive Rookie of the Year was number 2. That sucks. QB number 2, though, which is a Pro Bowl player. Number 8 for Henry, which is crazy. Burks, wide receiver of the year, so he does go to superstar straight out the gate, which is insane. Nothing for D-line. Number 8 for linebacker. DB, not on the list. And then kicker, our generational guy at 9. But we are in the divisional round right out the gate, and this is one of those teams that's kind of hard to rebuild, so if this is a Super Bowl win, I don't think he can really top that. So, I mean, I'll maybe do one more season just to see if they can win back-to-back, but I would not be going for the dynasty with a team like this. It's already a miracle to be where we are, let alone win the Super Bowl. So this could just be a shorter rebuild. We'll see, but I highly doubt it. But, hey, you just never know. Christian Fulton, this would be so clutch. We just paid him, too. I think it was a 5-year 27, which is really, low for the cornerback market, but at the same time, a lot of, normal dev corners out there. Let's take a look. The Ravens, I've seen them win a lot of games in the past. Will this be a Super Bowl season for us? Probably not. But, hey, I'm kind of believing, man. If the Ravens were able to beat us here, it would be an AFC North championship round. But as of right now, it's not looking super great for that. 7-14, 14-14. No score, but hey, nice little comeback. 14 all to start the second half. 21-14, 21-21, 24-21. No, they drove down for a field goal. Whose ball is it? Is ours? We're moving. The clock is gone. They have all the time in the world to try and score here, and they're just like, I mean, overtime looks pretty good to me, boys. What about you? It's like, no, let's win this. Hopkins underneath, try to set up some of it. Hopkins, are you serious? Why are you fighting, my dude? Why is he fighting? Does anyone have any idea of why he would be doing that? I'm, of course, going to leave the field goal up to the AI, which hopefully they at least attempt, as Henry will gain a bunch. And I don't know if he likes it from the left hash, but that's where he's getting it. 47-yard field goal, and they will not, there we go, they will not let me sim. Will they hit it? They hit it! They hit the field goal. Wow. All right. Championship round. Who knows? Here we are. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and Lamar Jackson, not super great. Rushing, pretty good for Henry. Dobbins, not bad. That's all right, I suppose. But let's take a look at the defense now. 2 sacks, 1.5 for Arden Key. He woke up. Landry with a sack. Kicking, he missed the field goal, but thankfully it wasn't the one that mattered the most. Although I suppose you can argue that that one wouldn't have mattered at all if he would have hit that field goal. But then again, you could also argue that maybe, the Ravens don't play as conservative because they're down, in that situation, they actually win the game. I don't know. So it is what it is. You win the game, you're just happy that it happens. You're just happy that you don't have a Brett Maher and you've done enough. Like, I don't feel like people talk about that enough. Like, Brett Maher with, the worst kicking performance maybe ever. Like, that was actually insane. Did Fulton get it? Yes. Things are actually starting to be put together. Only 5K XP. We'll take that damn thing, though. It's now the Bengals, 85 overall versus their 89. I don't know, dude. I don't. Going to the end of the game. Come on. I've seen the Bengals do some really good things. I hope that is not today. It's 3-all. I mean, we're competitive. We're competitive. 10-6, 17-6, 20-6. Oh, huge touchdown to start the second half. Derrick Henry's doing his Derrick Henry thing. Looks like turnovers are plaguing us in this one. Down by 11. The team has a chance. They just gotta put the damn ball in, and they will not. They'll kick a field goal, and they can't stop them. 3rd and 2. The field goal or the range they're in right now. I mean, it's basically all or nothing at this point. If you don't get it here, it's probably a GG on the game. Byard with the blitz. And he catches it. Wow, I'm sure of it. It is T. Higgins in fairness. But I'm still not happy. And 4th and 8. I mean, I suppose. They hit the field goal, though. 3 straight incompletions. 4 straight incompletions. Wow, all right. That's unfortunate. I mean, obviously, this is... Wow, our quarterback must have choked this game away. He must have just been awful. But... I suppose we're in a situation we didn't expect to be in anyways, but 4 interceptions. That is the worst game I've ever seen in a Madden sim. I've not seen anything worse than that. I literally haven't, in any of the Maddens. That is spectacularly bad. That was so bad. Have you guys? I mean, 3 of them to a middle linebacker. 3 interceptions to an inside linebacker. Are you kidding me? And it's not even that good of one. Sorry, Jermaine Pratt. You're not bad, but you're not like Fred Warner. If Fred Warner's getting 3 interceptions in sim, I guess, but 3 to Pratt? Well, didn't win the Super Bowl on this one, tell you that much. Had a chance, really good chance too, and that did not happen, believe it or not. Bengals do make it to the Super Bowl. Classic rebuild for us where we we lose to the Super Bowl champions early, and it's just like, what can you do? You know, it's like they were destined to win it, apparently. But DevOps, Burks got to be a superstar, right? He's got to be. Really? He just won, so he must not have gotten, not Rookie of the Year, but Wide Receiver of the Year. He must not have gotten a dev up for his stats. Star dev. Really? That's the best we could do, EA. Okay, well, I'm going to go physical, try to get that release up, but I've never seen a realm where Treylon Burks has anything close to 80 release. Snell was already superstar. Okonkwo is still normal. Might need to replace him. Defensively, McDonald was only star, so that's a dev up. Byard was only superstar. That's clutch dev up. But no other dev ups, sadly, so kind of a mid-season when you consider the fact that we didn't seal the deal. We have 90 mil, and honestly, oh my, okay, I forgot again how bad the game is, and I just completely forgot that you have to re-sign the quarterbacks for them, otherwise they just let them go. Wide receiver 2 could be interesting, but Treylon Burks, I think, did enough, so we probably won't go for that position. Ed Oliver's a guy that I haven't seen in free agency in a while. It's definitely a positional need. You know, Autry's going to be gone here soon, or maybe even now. A guy like Ed Oliver maybe is the answer to that. Cornerback wouldn't hurt. We have a lot of different guys we are paying, but if you get yourself a talented corner 1, like, does it really matter? I might just rock with what we got, though. We're fine. I think we're all right. Grant Delpit, he's actually not a bad safety, but either is hooker, edge. Luvu is not that bad, but at the same time, he's probably not that good either. Any pass rushers, I'd be willing to pay so much for one, and there's just none, dude. There's none. Maybe there's someone on the block or something, and then Ed Oliver, like I've said many times in the past, has become just more of a name than anything, and there's really no point in signing him. Tight end? There's just nothing I need, dude. Is there any wide receivers I can convert? There's nothing. There's no one. The closest thing there is that I could get that is a helpful need would be cornerback, and I just don't really even need that right now. 90 mil and nowhere to spend it. Beautiful. So only on a 2-year deal, Bryce Huff, they have Drake Jackson, and I don't know why they're not using him, but he only had 8 sacks, which is good. But from a 4-3 going again, opposite side of Nick Bosa, they were obviously expecting more. We give him 2 starting level linemen, because obviously Trent Williams probably is a good chance that he's gone at this point, and a 6th-round pick for him. They just got him in free agency. It's basically a freebie at that point. He's literally, it was either grab him or grab Drake Jackson, and I want someone that's a little more developed. I'm not really even sure why they went for him. Maybe it's just because, like I said, Drake Jackson's maybe a little bit lower of an overall, but we ended up with Bryce Huff in the trade, and we're going to be putting him at left outside linebacker, 81 overall. Nothing crazy. Probably dropped to like an 80 at the once we switch him, but at least it's a little bit more of a ceiling there, and his contract is, like I said, so 2-year, whatever the hell. He's only an 80 overall left out, so it's not like we just traded for like the greatest player of all time. We have some depth now with Arden Key there as well, so still looking at edge likely. D-line would definitely help because, like I said, Ed Oliver's more of a name at this point, so I'm not really keen on trying to get him. All right, we're in the draft. There is a 1-2 tight end that looks really good, but there are also some tight ends later, and even though tight end is kind of up there on the needs list, if he's not there, I'm not too worried about it, so that's the reason why I'm not trading up, and he is still actually there, but there's some other guys I'm still debating on it. But Chuck Ellis, very good speed, excels a little iffy, but 4.53, really good stuff there. Then you have Enrique Corona, actually, also another really speedy guy, excels a little iffy. And then, of course, Jeff Mays, the 6'6", 21-year-old with even better speed and excel than all of them. I'm going to take a look at the other positions of need and see if we actually have to grab them. So D-end is definitely up there. I thought I scouted this guy for... Oh, we can get Gonzalez in the 3rd. Really, maybe wide receiver. Silver looks pretty good. He's actually really fast as well, speaking of athleticism. But realistically, my biggest need would be tight end. And there's a better chance to get hidden in the 1st round, right? What's his other skills? A spec, A short, B medium, A catch. Deep route sucks, but I think all tight ends do. I'm going to take the risk on Jeff Mays, and I was about to say hope for the best, but he is hidden, and he is very athletic. He's automatically a starting tight end. What could he, could he be superstar? Could he be superstar X Factor? Maybe, but even if he's just star, that's fine. The wide receiver did look pretty good, but I guess that's technically not a need. If Silver's there, I will take him, though. But I don't, it's not the biggest need in the world. And is he there? He is still there, dude. I'm going to take him, Larry Silver. Another hit in, and he's 98 speed, dude. Oh, my. That is a hell of a draft pick. We do need that DT, though, so I may be reaching again. Fourth is and a third next, which is, really debatable, because that's, maybe right on trade value, but considering we could be another really good playoff team, that's debatable for them. I don't know. Maybe they think we're going to fall off, but at this point, I believe, unless there's someone there that I didn't expect to be there, the choice is going to be Mr. Gonzalez. Winter is still there, actually. Wynn is still there, too. We're very good. The safety, Harrell. Those guys are really good, but the DT is the biggest need. This guy is like an automatic starter, even if he's normal dev, so I got to grab him. Jimmy Gonzalez. And another hidden development trade player. That's a win. And good thing we didn't need linemen because there was none to have. I think I'm going to grab some fullback here and call it a draft. At least we kept the 5th round next year. We traded that 3rd yet again, but all of that was worth it. The 3 players we drafted seem pretty solid, and in general are all starting caliber players, so that's all you can really ask for. And no favorites, so best fullback remaining looks to be George Jones. Pretty simple name as well. Bring him on. 23 years old, the normal dev. Who cares? 7th round pick. And let's see what we did for ourselves. Did we land some talents? Obviously, the tight end, they're all starters, obviously. Trade offers, Farley, maybe actually, because I don't know if he's worth re-signing. And the tight end and wide receiver are very good. The DT is a little iffy, but that happens from time to time. Jeff Mays with the 6'6" frame. Very fast. Catching is amazing. Catching traffic and spec. Short route and medium route, not great, though. I got distracted for a moment because something just, came firing off my mic stand, if you will. Boom arm. And, speaking of boom arm, this guy's booming. Superstar dev, we like that. I guess 89 is the coolest number available. Yeah, it just, shot out at me. I got assaulted. I didn't know what the hell it, was on, but I hate when things break, so this is going to be fun. There's that. Bro, where did it actually come from? Star dev wide receiver, we take it. Wish he was a little bit better than that, but that's fine. Gonzalez is the left end, I believe. Finesse move's great. Definitely undersized. Definitely not playing nose tackle in a 3-4. Left end, I think. I don't even know. We'll change it however. Star dev. A little unfortunate. And the fullback was 69 overall. I might actually trade Caleb Farley off for a 3rd round pick because as you can see here, they're offering some really good stuff. I just don't think those players are very fair for us. Those are too good of players, I think. But Kenneth maybe. To be fair, we don't even really need anyone at this point. So getting that 3rd round pick back from next year or this upcoming season from last offseason's trade would be pretty significant. Also thinking about getting Jamal Williams here. We got a 3rd and 5th from the Rams for Caleb Farley and McCreary. Once again, in real life, maybe there's a chance, but in game, not as great of a chance, and we already have better options, I think, in front of them. Maybe not so much Farley, but, even the rookie at this point is not really even getting as much burn. Sean Murphy-Bunting's a solid number 3. Highsmith and Fulton are great number 1s and 2s. So, what am I supposed to do? Well, we had a chance at a year 2 Super Bowl. Did not quite get that, but Deandre Hopkins, who is now only a 92 overall at 32, is still going strong enough, obviously. And then you have Burks, who had a really big breakout season. Henry's still great. The quarterback's obviously going to keep getting better. He's already an 83 overall. The tight end is a 77 overall superstar. I really wanted Okonkwo to work, but that Titan scheme did not do him any favors. O-line's pretty solid. A defense, it's a work in progress. Bryce Huff's, kind of a bandage situation. Unless he really kills it this year, probably will look to replace him, in the offseason. But it's a weird team. I feel like, we're going to get bad at certain positions and get good at others, and we're just going to constantly be rotating. And I don't know if we're ever going to get good on both sides. Could be a 5-year, never win a Super Bowl situation, but already did a pretty good job getting to that, was the divisional round, so we'll see if we can build on that, maybe win, get further even. Another playoff berth would be, fine as well. Once again, not every team is capable of winning the Super Bowl in real life, and, having to rebuild that situation, even if you get 5 years to do so, might be too much. Not as good of a season as last time, but still a pretty good one to start. We have Byard, who I'd do a 2-year for probably. Win, we'll see how well he's playing. Bryce Huff, we'll see how well he's playing. The punter we will keep, and everyone else is probably let go. Super, really good season for this division in general, and we don't get the bye week at 14-3 because the Texans take it. There is no way they went 14-3. I mean, I'm kind of shocked that we did, but let alone the Texans. So they lost to us. Okay, I don't know. It was, I mean, obviously super close because obviously both teams, we won one, they lost one, they won one. But either way, it doesn't really matter because we're in the playoffs. Even though we didn't get the bye week, it's still the playoffs at a really good record. Snell is killing it. Henry's great yet again. Burks is great yet again. Hopkins is better. Mays is all right. Silver's all right. This Packers scheme's kind of cooking. I'm going to be honest with you. Landry was pretty good. Simmons was pretty good. Huff was okay. I gave him a 3-year 25 because at the time it was week 10 and he had 5 sacks. I was like, oh, he might actually finish with pretty close to double digit. Didn't really happen. Bryce Young was the MVP of the league with our guy not even on the list. With those touchdown to pick ratio and yards, okay, sure, I guess. No award wins. No, actually the kicker and the safety, which is cool, I guess. But playoffs, Jets. Let's see if we can win. All right, go to the end of the game. The Jets start off with a touchdown immediately. We drive down and looks like turn over the ball. 17-0 to start this. 20-0. There's absolutely sim presets. Or not, maybe. I swear there's sim presets. Like, preset result. Oh, we're coming back, though. Preset results just happen in this game. 3rd and 14. I really don't want to be in here. But at the same time, like, I don't know if they're going to do it on their own. Who's the worst pass rusher? Probably Gonzalez. Actually, no, it's going to be Huff because they got Mekhi Becton here. Or not. And he's still going to complete it, but I suppose we weren't the only pass rusher getting there. And I don't know if you actually want to return this. Is there not like a kick return, safe man return? Or safe, no. Okay, well, I don't know what I just did, but hopefully he doesn't hit the field goal is all I can ask for. And not even close. All right, let's see it. They have a chance. Golden opportunity. Driving and a touchdown. Tied up. Oh, and 3rd and 7 from the 38. Long field goal. They can win the game with this. From the 38-yard line, the kick is slightly off. He slightly misses it. Can we get in field goal range in time? Who else? And he drops it, of course. Of course. If he catches that ball, we've got a chance at a kick. Instead, it is going to be... They're saying we can kick a 72-yarder. Sure, man. Why not? At this rate, why not? That is literally the perfect kick. That was so freaking close. That is insane. Jets, fair enough. Extra time and overtime. 15 minutes and 16 seconds. Please just stop them. Nice. Touchdown drive wins you the game, or just a scoring drive. Oh! They're going to go for the whole touchdown. There we go. Snell really choked it. Tried to lose the game, but it is what it is. Derrick Henry, 110 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, the touchdowns going to the quarterback would look a little bit better in fairness. Sack totals, 3 sacks for Simmons. Landry for 2. Interceptions here, 3-1. All right, it wasn't a clean one, but we were able to beat the Jets. We move on to the Texans. 1 game won, 1 game lost. A chance to get some revenge here. And I don't know why I checked the Texans postseason when they had a bye week. Here we go, Texans. 84 overall. We're in 88. Let's have it. All right, going to the end of the game. Come on. Left or right, I think, is us. Nice drive. Good finish with Derrick Henry. 7-0 still. 14-0, not bad. 14-3. Defense is holding up. Nice touchdown. Could be going to the championship game. 21-10. Texans aren't done. Only down by 3. Nice drive for a touchdown. Could it be enough? The defense makes a stop, and that will be a win. Not by much, but just enough. CJ Stroud, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. So Shell did play better, but Henry had more touchdowns, so that's kind of where some of that probably went. Bryce Huff, 1 sack. 1 sack for Hill. 1 interception for Richardson. 1 for McDonald. For some reason, I thought McDonald was the DT. And Whitlock, He's been missing some kicks, dude. Go to the championship round. Who we're going to be playing against? The Browns. Okay, I see them every once in a while. I see them every here and there. See what they did to get here. They beat the Chargers, and then they beat the Chiefs. Okay, Chiefs are hard to beat, but it was only by 6. We could do it. Will we do it? I don't know. What year is this? 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is year 3, actually, which usually it's year 4 or that it never happens. Here we go. Please just win the damn game. 7-0. Still 7-7. I don't know. 14-7, not bad. Still 14-7. 21-7. 28-7. We're in the Super Bowl. Let's go. This could happen. This very well could happen. And my voice is kind of like it's kind of going. It's kind of leaving me. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Watson was pretty trash. Rushing, Tajay Spears, like not even talked about at all. I was gonna make like a funny joke about early on. I just completely forgot. I was like, I don't know. Wow, good numbers there in the sack totals. I don't know what it means to have both of your ACLs missing, but I imagine you can't tear them at least. So there's that. And here it is, the moment we've all barely been waiting for, because it's actually pretty damn early. The Super Bowl going up against the Eagles. Struggled a little bit in the Eagles rebuild we did recently enough, so hopefully that happens here. We're 14-3. They're 9-8. I actually can't believe how good this Packers scheme has been for us. And Burks is a superstar. His release is obviously going to suck at 67, but at least, you know what? He's a superstar. Even that never happens. Fulton's a superstar. Landry's a superstar. Maybe this roster is actually not doomed. But it's definitely one of our lower overall teams that have made the Super Bowl and won it? Question mark? Maybe? Going against A.J. Brown again? All right, here we are going to the end of the game. We get a stop. 7-0. Okay. Oh, and then we turn it over. But we're looking okay. 10-0. Fulton with a pick, it seemed like. 17-7 after their score. We got a score, and we're up by 10. Up by 17 now. Eagles aren't done. Down by 10, down by 7. Huge touchdown from King Henry. And the Titans are Super Bowl champions. Didn't quite get in that 2-year that we've seen, but here it is. With year 3 being a Super Bowl champion team with Deandre Hopkins, making everyone eat their words, saying, wow, you wanted to go to a contender, but here you are. Once again, pre-injury Titans, they were finding ways to compete. It's a team that has good coaching. Who knows? Tannehill's no slouch. Derrick Henry carries like he normally does. It doesn't take much. It really doesn't. So, who knows? DeAndre Hopkins is obviously a freak when it comes to, the whole wide receiver position that he likes to play. And, who knows? You just never know. I doubt it, but Burks is looking strong. Hopkins, I still think, has a lot left in the tank. Okonkwo was all right. Just got to catch the ball a little bit better. Henry's a freak, like we said, and Tannehill knows how to play the quarterback position. O-line is a question mark, but offense should not really be a problem in Tennessee, so you just don't know. Of course, Snell did well, and they do not have Jalen Hurts, so that obviously helps a ton. Tajay Spears with a 69-yard run for a touchdown. That helps, believe it or not. That helps. A.J. Brown cooked up against his former team. DeAndre Hopkins, a guy they probably wouldn't have if they kept A.J. Brown, also cooked up, technically better. So it works out for everyone in the end. Sweat with 3 sacks. Huff with 1 against the former team. No, he would never play for the Eagles. It's just Jets, right? Whitlock, I don't know how many kicks he's missed. A lot is the answer. I don't know why it is. I keep confusing Sweat and Huff for some reason, but that is the Super Bowl win of the Titans. The rebuild is over already. I'm not going for another 2 seasons because Hopkins might not even be like a shell of himself at that point. But this is the team. Team looks pretty good. DeAndre Hopkins, 93 overall. Obviously worse than that 95 start. Technically cheated by making him an X factor, but without the suspension, 95 overall is typically an X factor, right? Would you guys? I would say personally. I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree, but 90 speed, 91 excel, definitely a little bit better than we started with. Good short route running, but as far as release goes, just never got it up. Really good at catching, decent short route, and that's kind of the extent of his talent. Looking at the quarterback, Snell, obviously a huge part in this one is he's an 89 overall. Play action sucks, which you have literally the ultimate play action tool in Derrick Henry, but it is what it is. Who cares? 96 throw power, 88 deep, 93 medium, 87 short. It is what it is. And then what else do we have? Mays, he's rookie, but he did go up 5 overall, so we'll see. That was a speed upgrade, right? I thought he had 80, maybe it was 88, I don't know, but 90 catching, catching traffic solid. He's still raw, but obviously has so much potential. Derrick Henry technically dropping in an overall, I would imagine. He got to 99 at some point. 94 truck, 99 stiff arm. He's a freak. Excel's a little iffy, but still pretty damn fast. O-line, probably, I guess we'll take a look at Skoronski, obviously, for real life, but other guys, plug and play rookies. Very good to play interior. I'll tell you that much. That run blocking is insane, or the power blocking is insane, but that be what it be. And then Silver, he was okay this season, but nothing insane there. Pretty good deep route. Release is all right. Speed's good. Raw, but young, just like Mays, so plenty of time there. Simmons, in 94 overall, didn't get to an X Factor, but played pretty well. Not insane, but played pretty well. Very good power move. Okay, block shedding. I just hate the fact that it just brings you the defense, the offense every time. Fulton, obviously, with that superstar, is pretty clutch. He's 25 now, I believe. Don't think you'd be going to 26, right? Got to superstar, like we said. Very clutch timing, as we just paid him. Who else do we have? Highsmith just got the starting job. He was a backup before then. Already looking pretty good. Athleticism ratings went up decently nicely, it seems. Murphy Bunting, it doesn't really matter, but I guess he's one of their new names, if you will, so why not? He's pretty mid. He's a little bit above average, that's about it. Hooker, 85 overall. Did they develop his zone? They did. 90 zone coverage. Not the fastest guy in the world, but definitely talented. Byard, Mr. Good old Byard, good old Kevin Byard with 89 zone coverage, lacking a little bit in the speed as well, but still really good as an X Factor. Gave him a 2-year, was it a 36, I believe? I don't even know, but $2 million, whatever, over whatever they asked. What about, I guess, Tart and Gonzalez before we look at these linebackers? Tart, pretty mid, but okay block shed, I guess. He can get the job done on the ground defense. Nothing crazy, but he's good enough. And then Gonzalez is pretty new, obviously, as well as a rookie. 88 finesse, though, so he can get to the quarterback. Let's take a look at these linebackers, though, and call it a rebuild. Bush, I don't really care too much about. Let's take a look at Huff. Did we get him at 86 finesse? Well, Mr. Consistency over here decided not to upgrade the finesse. Let's take a look at Landry, 85 overall. It's a nice little dev up, but it probably doesn't matter too much. 88 finesse. Once again, superstar dev there. Let's take a look at McDonald now, and I guess the kicker, right? The generational, who a little shaky, especially in the playoffs. This guy, 70 block shed, but 81 zone already, and super young with superstar. So the ceiling is very high. The sky's the limit. And then Pat Whitlock, once again, very iffy in the playoffs. 99 kick power, 88 accuracy. He's well on his way to becoming one of the better of all time, in theory. But that's going to be it for this rebuild. Actually went a little bit quicker than I would have thought. A 3-year, almost had it in 2, and then usually it's like 4 or longer. I seem to kind of suck with the good teams, and I do all right with the bad teams. Titans are technically a bad team in game, whether you love them in real life or not, whatever you want to point out to. They're not very good in game, so take it how you will. And that's about it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Don't know if I would have done the wide receiver ratings reaction video earlier today or not. Maybe I would have tested like one out, and then if it didn't do well, I wouldn't do the next couple reveals. I don't know, but for sure some sort of reveal, ratings reaction. Whether it's when the actual full ratings are online or whatnot, or before then. Either way, it's I'll post something about it sooner or later. But that's about it. If you guys aren't new, appreciate your continued support on the channel. Maybe follow me on Twitter, JeromepkR, second channel PKR Plays. Twitter is where I would be talking about the ratings if I decide not to post. So check it out, I suppose. And that's about it. If you guys have a team you want to see next for rebuild, let me know. I think I sent my list out last time. But the teams that I have remaining basically would be the Dolphins, Bengals, Chiefs, Broncos, Cowboys, Giants, with a possibility of Browns or Ravens. Those are the teams. That's the rebuild. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!